Hello, and welcome to another riveting episode of The Devil's Advocate. I'm your host, Mitchell Drayton, and today we're diving into a world of cinematic what-ifs. Ever watch a movie and wonder what you would do if the script were flipped? Well, now's your chance. Chime in, share your thoughts, and let's unravel those alternate realities together. Don't forget to check out the polls, drop your comments, and hit the notification bell so we can stay in touch. And let's have a fantastic time. Let's go. Welcome back, and thank you to all the listeners, wherever you might be listening to this podcast right now. Today we have a movie called Criminal, and this one, there's two questions specifically that I'd like to ask, but it does start off once again at the end. Like the last episode that we had some days ago, Kevin Costner is on a beach, and he is sort of still a criminal in this movie, even at the end of it. And then you have Ryan Reynolds that works for a three-letter agency. He's also being chased by another three-letter agency and ultimately meets his demise. He does not get free from this one. And in doing so, he takes some information to his grave. Now, once the people that he works for do find him, they do pronounce him dead, but they have somebody, we'll call him the mad scientist, that has a procedure that he would like to try. This is going to be kind of like mind melding for some of those science fiction guys and gals out there. But essentially what they're going to try and do is take the memories from Ryan Reynolds, the one that works for the three-letter agency, and put them into Kevin Costner, who is a convict. So he is already in prison for doing some pretty bad things. They don't delve into that. But nonetheless, the three-letter agency lead says, go ahead and do it. Do it now. This is for the sake of national security, as they always say. So they go ahead with the procedure, and it seems to be a success. At first, it wasn't. They were about to lose him. But once again, the guy with the three-letter agency says, I don't care if we lose him. Just do it. To him, it was worth the chance to put all those memories in there so that they can then interrogate him when he did wake up to see if they could find out where, one, he hid a whole bunch of passports, money, and then a USB that was going to hold the controls to all the nuclear sites around the country. Now, this does take place in New England. So just imagine like Big Ben, like, downtown London is where a lot of this took place at. Now, being that they did do the surgery on an inmate, that sparks one question. So should inmates be utilized for clinical trials, or should they be used as test subjects? Do you think that's something that's allowed? Now, some people would say on one side of it, well, they're in jail for a reason. They're in prison. Why not? Why do they get the choice? So they would say, yeah, go ahead. Let them be utilized for that type of clinical trials. I'm all good with them being a test subject. On the other hand, though, what if I put this in the back of your mind? So, I'm tiptoeing from shoulder to shoulder at this point, but what if this inmate was actually innocent and you just now chose to just use them as a test subject without their will? There are many times where I have seen where someone has been in jail for 20, 30 plus years, and then finally technology caught up and proved their innocence, or someone said that, hey, I was not telling the truth back then. Somebody coerced me or said that I need to say that this was a person that did it. So first question is, should inmates be utilized for clinical trials? Should they be used as test subjects? Even though they might be considered innocent, or you never know if they're truly innocent, right? And then, of course, the movie goes on, and Kevin Costner is trying to get away from the other three-letter agency that was originally chasing Ryan Reynolds. He was successful for a good portion of it. He was even speaking French. He didn't even know he could, but that just proved that the operation that happened was taking hold a lot more than they thought. He was even able to call in because there was a silent alarm set off by the former wife of Ryan Reynolds because he broke into the home and tied her up. And he was able to get on the phone and call them back and gave the authentication codes, and everything was good. they were very profound for the fact that he was able to do that, because that meant that he did recall a lot more of Ryan Reynolds' life. And she was not forgiving, of course. She was able to cut herself free from the tape bound that he had put on her. She got her daughter, and they took up hold in the basement. He left that day, and they thought all was well. The movie, continues on, and then he sustains another cut to the leg and comes back into the house, unbeknown to the wife and the daughter. But he does make a noise, and so she goes on full alert. She finds a gun that was stashed in the house, and then she finds him in the basement, and he's fixing himself up. He had already found out where the treasure trove of hidden items that Ryan Reynolds had around that house, because of course he kept this from his wife, and she had no idea that he was this, agent over there in that country. And with doing so, she wanted to see if he truly had the memories of her late husband. So she had asked him a question, and he ended up holding his hand to his nose, and she broke down crying. She did test him on a couple of other things, and that made her feel more comfortable to the fact that she said that he could stay the night. So, of course, he took her up on the offer, and then the next morning, the daughter and Kevin Costner are outside, and they're digging a hole, not to put her in it, but to put one of her stuffed animals in it. Of course, this sets the mother off, and she goes back into high alert, and she has a gun behind her back, tells her daughter to go inside the house. And Kevin Costner, of course, taking on more of the traits of Ryan Reynolds, puts his hands up, kind of as if the cop told you to put your hands up, and he proceeds to leave the house. But she starts to feel, more sad for the guy because he wasn't doing anything bad. And the next question is, could you accept that person into your life, right? So they were once a criminal, not that you knew that, but if they came in saying like, listen, your friend, I have all her memories or all his memories. They're in my head right now. They're scrambled up, but I can remember certain things. Now, if this person was genuinely not trying to hurt you, and you didn't know that they were a convict, could you accept them into your life, or would it just freak you out too much and you would say, nope, can't do it. You got to keep on pushing. I'm just going to accept the fact that they are no longer here. So those are the two questions. Should inmates be utilized for clinical trials as a test subject, even though you don't know if they're truly innocent, because some people are found innocent years or decades after? And could you accept this person back into your life knowing that they have all the memories of the person that is no longer a part of yours? Well, as always, I hope that you have that notification bell. I hope that you share this with your colleagues there at work or your family members. And just know that we are on Spotify, we are on Apple Podcasts, and a few other platforms. That wraps up this episode of The Devil's Advocate. I'm your host, Mitchell Drayton. Thanks for diving into the What If with me. Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts, hit the polls, leave a comment, and keep the conversation going, people. Until next time, stay curious and stay questioning.